Kyle with Pillar to Post Home Inspectors, here to tell you a little bit about radon in West Michigan.
We have radon coming from below. We have asbestos in the ceilings. These are silent killers.
You are the silent killer.
Sorry, had to add that in there. Radon is considered a Class 1 carcinogen and is the second leading cause of lung cancer. It's a naturally occurring gas that originates from uranium deposits. It may sound strange that there's uranium in the ground in West Michigan, but we do have plenty of it, even below our sandy soil. Depending on where you live and the condition and design of your foundation or crawl space, different homes can be more or less susceptible to radon. It commonly enters the home through basement slab cracks or an unsealed sump crock. Radon is measured in picocuries per liter, and the outdoor national average is 0.4, while the indoor average is 1.3. So we're always exposed to radon, but we don't want to be exposed to high levels of it. EPA guidelines state anything above a 4 should be remediated, and below a 2 is generally considered acceptable. Between a 2 and a 4 is where it's up to the homeowner as to their comfort level to determine if mitigation is needed. And it's good to note that these levels are determined based on the risk associated with contracting lung cancer. That means a home with radon over 4 doesn't automatically mean you would contract lung cancer. It only means the risk would be higher. Consider this: daily exposure to 4 picocuries per liter has the equivalent risk of smoking 8 cigarettes a day. If you're only spending 3 hours a day in a space with 4 picocuries per liter, then that's 1/8 of the time, so that might be closer to the equivalent of smoking 1 cigarette a day. The point here is the higher the levels and the longer you're exposed, the greater the risk radon presents. Factors that can increase radon exposure would be spending significant amounts of time in a basement, such as sleeping in a bedroom, having a home built on a slab, a damaged foundation, damaged basement slab, or an unsealed sump crock can all increase risk. Homes less likely to be affected would be homes with crawl spaces sealed from the living space and vented to the exterior, such as with many manufactured homes. There are ways to reduce radon in a home. Mitigation companies will often start by sealing the sump crock and any foundation or slab cracks. Then typically, they'd add a mitigation pump connected to a pipe going into your slab, which pulls ground gases through the pump and outside, rather than having them accumulate in the home. Testing for radon is fairly simple. You can do testing through your county, where you set up small special canisters to collect radon over 2 weeks and send them to a lab for analysis.
And please don't throw these out. This is a radon test kit. Please don't throw these out.
Or you can buy detectors that plug into an outlet and provide hourly indicators. Now, a few things to be aware of with these types of tests. They aren't great for real estate transactions, as the canister often takes 3 weeks from setup to getting the results. And the plug-in detectors are usually owned by the homeowner and tied to their phone, so you'd need to rely on their reporting, confirm the detectors are set up in a proper space and haven't been tampered with and have been calibrated within the last year. More often, people will have a professional with proper equipment do the testing to ensure you get fast, reliable results. Factors such as weather patterns, time of year, or tampering of equipment can affect results, so most professionals will use equipment which monitor for humidity, barometric pressure, temperature, and tampering. These professional tests take 48 hours to complete. It's also helpful to have access to a professional who can help interpret the reports, since there are variables that can affect the results. Now, I've done a lot of testing around West Michigan and spoken with many home inspectors, and key areas where we typically see higher levels are Caledonia, Hudsonville, Jenison, Middleville, and Rockford, many times with readings between an 8 and a 12. If you drive around in some neighborhoods in the areas mentioned, you'll be able to observe quite a few radon mitigation systems. Other areas of Grand Rapids can be hit or miss, and usually readings come in lower along the lake shore. But the highest readings consistently are around Green Lake in Caledonia, where multiple times I've had homes over 25 picocuries per liter, and near Knapp and Grand River Drive, where I've heard of some inspectors getting readings of over 100. Radon isn't something that you need to be scared of, and there's proper precautions you can take to ensure that your home is a safe living environment. Live in your home with confidence and get it tested for radon.